Hello, my lovely Sagittarians. I'm doing this reading for the week of August 18th, but this is for whenever it resonates, and it won't be for every Sagittarian. Based on the response that I got from last week, it feels to me, or it seems to me, that many of my Sagittarians might be at a point where they are really working with something in real time, a real issue that's going on. Now, the first thing that I see is you, very contained, looking down, focused, and taking one small step, and then bringing your other foot forward. It's almost as though you're looking for landmines, or landmines, or trigger wires, or something like that. And it's nothing that's really evident. But it's that sense of knowing that you need to be careful where you walk, and the counsel is to be careful where you walk, to step lightly. And the thing that rolled into my head, as Spirit will often do when I'm getting ready to do a reading, is I heard specifically, ask for the help from your loved ones who've passed. And I'm sure for some of you that's very specific, and for some of you that will be generational, that will be legacy, that will be ancestors. But what you're really being told here, Sagittarius, is there is help for you from Spirit. And this is a point at which you are really being offered the help, like it's all around you. And it's all around you with a quality of peace, because there is potential for a lot of disruption and chaos right now. Now, the cards that I pulled, I think, are really interesting. The first card that I got, now keep in mind this was after that dropped into my head, was intuition. And I feel as though you're being told, okay, now, you also get the power card, which is reminding you that your power comes from your high heart, from your source. It's not from your ego. And you've got the mind card, which is telling you that your mind interprets the world and it also creates the world. So I feel like what this is telling you right now, combined with that sense of contained, deliberate stepping, is really lean into your intuition and slow yourself down enough so that you are conscious of taking one step at a time. This was the image they gave me, one step at a time, and then tuning in to your intuition, asking for guidance. For those of you who don't want to ask specifically for loved ones or ancestors, angels, spirit guides, God, however, higher conscious mind, whatever you want to link to. Now, if you remember, the last reading was about communing. So again, this is not about asking, please help me. This is about communing with that energy that is there to help you. You can ask for it to be given to you, but then don't go into a frenzy looking for the answer. Settle into yourself. Let your feet land on the same spot. Be quiet and listen to what you are feeling. What I'm also being told is the situation is evolving, that every time you take a step, you need to give time and space in order for what you have said and done to have an effect, and see what the response is going to be. Now, whether or not this is with an individual person, whether or not it's with a company, a doctor, your pet, it doesn't matter. What this is talking about is the nature of energy in relationship and how it organically plays with how it organically plays. One statement, another statement. These energies, words have energy. Words have intention. And what you are being reminded of is when you come back to center with both feet on the ground and you commune with that higher energy, with that wise heart, if you just want to call it your wise heart, your higher conscious self, when you commune with that, that's when you are in a position of power. And remember, power doesn't have to be fast and it doesn't have to be hard. It is something that allows you to stand in yourself and be authentic and allow yourself to trust that what needs to be said and done next will be said and done next. Okay? You are really, really being encouraged to look at where your intuition, and again, intuition sounds just so like, yeah, new age. But I think you know what I'm talking about. You know that deeper wisdom in yourself. You've also got that sense of trying versus doing, and you've got the why not, who says card. And as soon as I see cards with multiples like that, I'm looking at that going, okay, this could be you being very conflicted about something, whether in conflict with somebody or conflicted about something. So part of what your lesson here is, because of course everything is about all of us learning, right? Is to really listen to, and again, I think that goes with the power card, what has stopped you from living in your power? What might be stopping you from really working from that place of centered power? And I'm going to read the card just because I think it might help you tune into that energy. Think of power as an energy radiating from the center of your being in a 360-degree radius. It is wise. It is connected to your higher mind and connects you to all possibilities. It guides you along the best route, however circuitous, for the highest good of all concerned. Think of force as an energy that is generated by your personality. It extends from your mind in a horizontal line and is projected in one direction by a mind that sees limited options. Insistence on having a specific outcome may blind the mind to better options. It may be logical, but not wise. Force is ego-directed and usually with a predetermined goal. Power is soul-directed and self-correcting. I also see force as something that is about, I'm going to put that up there in case you want to take a screenshot of it and keep it with you, because I think it would be very helpful for you right now. Think also of power as coming from a place of trusting higher wisdom, trusting yourself to be in touch with that higher wisdom, and that even if logically it doesn't look right, as long as it's done with that sense of rightness and that centered power, again, there is the wisdom guided by higher mind. It's not trying to force, it's allowing for the energy to move into the possibility that is best for all concerned. And of course, Sagittarius, if you've been in a place where you are caring for a lot of people and trying to handle a lot and trying to make everything okay for everybody, it's going to be uncomfortable for you to do that, no matter how much you might trust in God, your loved ones, all the metaphysical and mystical stuff. Still, when it comes down to a psychological, practical application of it, that's where the fear comes up, and that's where the learning comes up. Now, there is no indication in any of these cards about what you should do, how you should do it, and it would be impossible to do that with a general reading. But what you are getting here is very clear guidance for those of you who are in a situation like I've described, very clear guidance on how to best manage yourself within it in order to be open to the highest guidance, and in order to move towards the best results of whatever it is you want. Now, you're also being asked to look at when you get pulled off your center. Is it because of issues of betrayal? Is it because of feeling like you are betraying? Or is it because you are not forgiving a betrayal? Again, you've got to look at it's really valuable at this point in time to look at, again, the who says so, why not card. This really looks at a lot of the internal rules that you have integrated as a part of your way of being. And that this is where you get to look at, where do you change a belief? Where have you outgrown a belief? Where is it safe to question a belief perhaps around betrayal? Why was it there in the first place? And who in your mind reinforced that? Is it still there in you? Is it still a belief that you have? Or is it something that you're ready to move out of in order to make different choices? So that's also something to consider. You're being told structured free flow, and I think that's really valuable right now, especially if what you're going through is a chaotic time. It's super, super important when you're going through something that is challenging, that feels heavy, that is not even chaotic, but just with many factors, many variables, and not knowing where it's going to play out because other energies are involved. It's very important to do something that is going to help keep you in a higher frequency, keep you in that state of understanding power, of understanding higher conscious mind, of understanding and connecting to higher wisdom, communing with that inner wisdom that you've got. So structured free flow for me with that would be set yourself specific things that you will do that you know is going to help lift you. It may be choosing to deliberately listen to certain meditations or certain speakers at a certain time of day. It might be starting with a visualization, a meditation, a morning walk. It might be just deliberately going into deep commune, deep prayer, deep something where you've punctuated and anchored it to something else that you do in the day so that you don't forget, so that you remember and you keep that energy up. I remember when I was going through an extremely chaotic situation with many, many variables. Oh gosh, I can't go into it all, but so many variables. And I was the center point for organizing all this stuff that was very chaotic and quite traumatic. The thing that kept me really going was remembering the phrase I've said before, I'm doing a great thing now, I can't come down. I'm not going to go into the fear. Fear is not part of this equation. Those were mantras that I would use, and I would use them whenever I found myself getting taken into fear or anger. And that was a big one. And anger at having been in that position, that all of this should be happening. Reminding myself that this was ultimately also a lesson for me and where was I able to grow. So these were things that I would remind myself of, phrases that I would keep anchored at different places in my house. And I would deliberately listen to Abraham Hicks, the short things that were on YouTube, and I would listen to that every night, at least once a day, but at least every night, where it allowed me to really remember what I believed, remember what I resonated with, which was staying in flow and all the different aspects of how we manifest, how we create, how we allow insight, intuition, abundance, and change in a positive way. So the Abraham Hicks tapes were very good for me, but also I have certain authors that I love. I would pull out their work and I would keep myself just I didn't have to read the whole book. I could just open a page and read something. So I also did things for myself that were good, like making sure I took the kind of baths that I liked. So this is also good for you, Sagittarius. Please keep in mind what feels like a yes to you, what opens you up with any kind of relief, any kind of delight. Again, for me, certain British comedy shows would do it. Reading the Far Side cartoons, looking at that, I know that there are certain things that automatically trigger a positive response for me. And so I kept that as a part of my structured free flow. Okay? I don't need to say any more about structured free flow. I think it's pretty clear. And I think if I were to go on any more now, I would just be repeating myself. Let me just check in to see if there's anything Spirit wants to say to you now, because I feel as though Spirit is very much here for you right now. Spirit really wants you to get this message. And oh my gosh, I just feel like I want to say, remember that you are so loved. Whatever is going on for you, however you're handling things, please remember that you are surrounded and supported in love. in such a huge way from Spirit, not just passed on loved ones, but definitely there too. And remember, if they're with you as guides, it's because they've learned what they need to learn in order to be able to come back and at least be a support for you. But there is a lot of love, and I feel as though this is really a time of you coming into an understanding of the profound, profound spiritual power you have as an individual, and how this is going to shape your future for the better. I won't repeat what I said, but please listen to it, take heart, and look for the steps that they have provided for you. Okay? I leave you with that, my very dear Sagittarians. God bless.